just go right there and tell everyone who she is.
Okay, this is Barbara Felder. If you don't know, this is Reverend Felder's daughter. So that's Aunt Barbara to me.
All right.
Emily. And we are blessed to have Karen in the house. Amen. Emily.
I had to go change my shoes. Miss Karen Jones Wigfall. Karen Jones Wigfall is an original resident of Allen Street in Cayce. She grew up in the house of her grandfather, Hamp Riley of Swansea, South Carolina. She spent 2 years in Brooklyn, New York as a young girl with her brothers, Thomas Jr. and Lorenzo. After returning to Cayce, she attended Ida Bull Elementary School, Claude Taylor Middle School, Airport High School, and graduated from Brooklyn Cayce in 1975. She met Reverend Julius Felder and became a member of the NAACP, working as a chairperson for the chapter. She had a son named Dwight in 1977. She went on to work in other organizations to better the community and the Midlands. Her husband, Clarence Wigfall, is from Pawleys Island. They have a daughter named Samara. Karen became involved in Claude Taylor PTA, worked with the Julius Felder Coalition for Change. Karen also worked in voters registration for 31 years, working election polls for Precinct 31 along with her daughter. She was instrumental in getting council member Skip Jenkins and Mayor Elise Parton elected in their first runs for city council. After years of hard work in the community, Karen became ill in 2006 and it slowed her down. But she never gave up politics and activism, getting involved in both. Currently, she is helping as a villager in Cayce to keep her neighborhood strong. She believes it takes a village. Is there anyone here from
Karen? Okay. Harry Lee Owens Jr. served in the Marine Corps from 1943 to 1946 at Montfort Fort Camp in Jacksonville, North Carolina, before fighting in World War II. He was a deacon at the Mount Zion Missionary Baptist Church in Cayce for over 50 years. He assumed the deacon body chairmanship in 1949 and served until 1990. He was selected Man of the Year in 1974 at Mount Zion. He also ran for city councilman in the 1990s. Henry worked for the Owen Joyce Corporation from 1956 to 1990 as a crane operator. Later, he worked part-time as a security guard at Checkmate Security Agency. He was married to Miss Brady Gibbs Owen and had 2 daughters. Henry went home to be with the Lord in December 2011. He was well known in the community and could be counted on to take his neighbors to doctor's appointments and to the grocery stores when needed. He was also a part of the Cayce Men's Club, an organization that put a cookout every year for the neighborhood. That's Mr. Henry Owens, and we have his daughter here tonight.
1919 to July 5th, 2004. Ruth Elizabeth Washington Wise was born in Lexington County on August 26, 1919. She attended Harbison Boarding School and completed her education at Booker T. Washington High School in Columbia. She was a licensed cosmetologist and worked for numerous years in the Cayce and Columbia areas. She worked for various organizations, including the Office of Economic Opportunity, the Columbia Urban League, and the Lexington County Department of Social Services. She served 20 years on the Lexington County Board of Social Services Advisory Board. Her contributions to the community included serving as a community organizer, a member of the South Carolina Voter Registration Project, a lifelong member of the Cayce branch of the NAACP, Meals on Wheels volunteer, and one of the first museum commissioners of the Cayce Historical Museum. Mrs. Wise was a faithful and dedicated member of Mount Pisgah AME Church in Louisiana until her death in 2004. Is there anyone from Ruth Washington Wise's family?
Coletta is her niece.
Jenkins Jr. Lester Jenkins Jr. was a proud retired Marine who was once stationed in Jacksonville, North Carolina. He later served in the Vietnam War. After returning home, he married Dorothy Moore Jenkins, and they had one daughter, Audrey, and one granddaughter, Simone. He became one of the first Black photographers in the Cayce area and was excellent and did this very well. Progressive, he later owned his own janitorial company, the Progressive Janitorial Maintenance. He was awarded the Minority Small Business Award by the West Metro Chamber of Commerce. Mr. Lester Jenkins Jr. passed away October 2010 and will always be remembered for his service, his devotion, and his love. Would his daughter please come forward so we can see her? She's right here. I saw her. For your father's wonderful and untiring service to the city of Cayce. Thank you so much. How are we enjoying the program so far, everyone? Great. This is just the beginning of things that you will hear about here in the Cayce community.
Miss Maddie Gibbs, otherwise known as Miss Maddie, the Candy Lady. Maddie Gibbs, September 1st, 1921, January 10th, 2007. Maddie Gibbs was born in Swansea, South Carolina. She started working at R.L. Davis Elementary School as a baker and eventually worked her way up to head dietitian. She was responsible for the nutritional value of the meals given to the students, and she oversaw the refreshments at all events. She eventually retired in 1986. After she retired, she started a candy store in her home where she sold candy and soda. The kids in the neighborhood were always asking for money to go to Miss Madeleine's house. Maddie attended Biblical House of God, where she served as a deaconess for years until her illness prevented her from attending church. She loved the Lord. She was preceded in death by her only daughter, Philistine Gibbs, and leaned heavily on her son, Reverend Rocky McKnight. Maddie was truly a loving and giving person. Anyone in Miss Madeline's family here?
Raise my hand for me. Okay, we did Miss Janice English. This is her husband, Mr. Joseph English. Okay, Reverend Joseph English was born in Lexington County, South Carolina in 1943. He attended Chalk Hill Elementary, Cayce Elementary, Lakeview Elementary, and Lakeview High School. He graduated from Lakeview High School in 1962. He received a Bachelor of Science degree from Benedict College in 1966 and began teaching at Lakeview High School the same year. Reverend English went on to teach at Brooklyn Cayce Junior High and Northside Middle School, where he became principal in 1981. He was transferred to the Busby Middle School in 1989 and retired in June of 1995. He is presently serving as pastor founder of Kingdom Builders Ministries. Reverend Joseph English has been married for 57 years to Reverend Janice Cole English, and they have 3 children, Noletta, Carlton, and Vicky. They have 6 grandchildren. And the ones that are not here, we're gonna try to make sure that they get copies of their cards at a later time. I'm gonna have to do her because that's my grandmother-in-law. Miss Maddie E. Richardson Smith was born in Calhoun County on March the 10th, 1924. She was married to the late King Smith. They have 9 children, now listen, 9 children, 29 grandchildren, and 90 plus great grandchildren. This lady lived in Cayce in the Pocono community on Charlotte Avenue. She was well known and loved dearly throughout the community. She worked at and retired from Claudette Taylor Elementary School as a food service assistant in the mid-1980s. She really loved her job, and there was not a day when she did not look forward to seeing and speaking to the children who came to her mind. When Mamie retired from Claudette Taylor, she went to work at St. Hope Episcopal Retirement Home. After retiring from the retirement home, she went back to food service by selling chips, drinks, and candy out of her home. Children went to see Miss Mamie King house for snacks. Miss Mamie had one of the biggest loving hearts a person could ever have. To know her was to love her. Miss Mamie passed on July 28, 2013.
He's coming. He's coming.
Okay. Let me show you what they did.
He's coming.
This is one of those 90 plus. No, I think he's the